Hello there, very good evening and welcome to Primetime News on TV1 for the Newsfirst, where the people come first. I'm Martin Satyanesan.
And I'm Naveksha Gunasekara. Here are your headlines for tonight.
Rammit Ramukella remanded over corruption allegations. Krish case against Namal Rajapaksa taken up. Opposition leader demands disclosure of political links to criminal gangs. Public Security Minister vows to name suspects once investigations conclude. Who are the two women caught with a gold-plated T56 in a Columbbo apartment? Trade Minister addresses Parliament on salt supply concerns.
දැන් කියනවා යන්නලු පුත්තලමට එන්නක යන්න පුත්තලමට පෙන්නන්න ලුණු තියෙනවා ලුණු තියෙන්නේ මොනවාද මඩ ලුණු දෙක තියෙන්නේ.
Expressway toll payments now enabled via bank cards.
On to those stories in detail. Rammit Ramukella, son of former Minister Ravi Ramukella, was remanded until June 3rd following his appearance before the Colombo Chief Magistrates Court.
Rammit Ramukella, son of former Minister Ravi Ramukella, was arrested this morning after providing a statement to the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption. He was later produced before the Colombo Chief Magistrates Court and remanded until the 3rd of June. The arrest follows a court order issued yesterday requiring Rammit to appear before the Commission in connection with an ongoing corruption investigation. He has been named the second suspect in a case involving the alleged misuse of over 8 million rupees in public funds. The charges stem from a period between 2021 and 2023, during which Ravi Ramukella served as Minister of Mass Media, Health and Environment. Investigations have revealed that several close associates were appointed to his personal staff and unlawfully granted allowances, resulting in significant financial losses to the state. Ravi Ramukella was also produced before court yesterday and similarly remanded until the 3rd of June. The Colombo High Court has scheduled a pre-trial conference for the 27th of June in the case filed against parliamentarian Namal Rajapaksa, who is accused of the misappropriation of 70 million rupees received from India's Krish company under the guise of promoting rugby in Sri Lanka. The case was taken up before High Court Judge Pradeep Aberatna. Deputy Solicitor General Vasanta Pereira, appearing for the prosecution, informed the court that certain documents requested by the defence would be submitted in open court today. He further noted that some documents are still under review by the Criminal Investigations Department and will be submitted in due course. President's counsel Sampath Mendes, representing the defence, stated that the defence would announce its position once all relevant documents have been received from the prosecution. After considering the submissions, the judge fixed 27th of June as the date for the pre-trial conference. The Attorney General filed the case against MP Namal Rajapaksa, alleging that he misused 70 million rupees obtained from the Krish company, which was purportedly intended for the development of rugby in Sri Lanka.
Colombo Chief Magistrate Tanuja Lakmali ordered that the suspect accused of shooting Ganemulla Sanjeeva be remanded in custody until the 4th of June. The order was issued when the suspect, who was already in remand custody, was presented before the court.
The fatal shooting of Ganemulla Sanjeeva inside the Alkade Magistrates Court took place on the 19th of February. The gunman, who had disguised himself as a lawyer to carry out the attack, fled the scene but was arrested later the same day in the Palavia area of Putlam. Following investigations, the suspect was identified as Samindu Dilshan Pumanga. He has been held under a detention order by the Criminal Investigation Department and was presented before the Colombo Chief Magistrate Tanuja Lakmali. The court ordered that he be remanded until the 4th of June and instructed that that he be produced for an identification parade on that date. A second suspect, Mahesh Sampath, who is alleged to have driven the getaway vehicle, was also remanded until the 23rd of May. Both suspects were brought before the magistrate under tight security provided by the police special task force. CCD officers representing the prosecution requested that both suspects be remanded due to the gravity of the charges. Defense attorneys appearing on behalf of the suspects requested court orders to ensure their safety while in custody and provide medical treatment if necessary. Magistrate Lakmali instructed prison authorities to guarantee the suspect's safety and to take appropriate steps to provide medical care if required during their remand period.
Two women have been taken into custody in connection with the discovery of a gold-plated T-56 assault rifle at a residential complex in Ballawat area. The suspects include a 68-year-old woman residing in Columbbo 6 who is believed to have been in possession of the weapon, and a 40-year-old woman from Battaramulla.
What is this weapon? The gold-plated T-56 assault rifle was discovered by police on Tuesday afternoon following a tip-off received via the emergency hotline. The weapon was identified during a security check conducted by a guard at a luxury apartment complex in Vellavatta after a 40-year-old woman attempted to enter the premises carrying the firearm. Police later arrested both the 40-year-old woman and her 68-year-old mother-in-law who resides in the apartment complex. The arrest was made following the security officer's intervention and subsequent inspection. Who are these women? The 40-year-old woman has been identified as a Kazakh national residing in Battaramulla. The 68-year-old woman is her husband's mother. Investigations have revealed that the husband is currently employed in Qatar. What happened? The Kazakh woman reportedly arrived at the Vellavatta apartment complex around 9 a.m. yesterday in a rental vehicle to visit her mother-in-law who lives alone. According to police, there was no indication that she was carrying a firearm when she entered the premises. After visiting the apartment, she returned alone to the vehicle parking area. Investigations revealed that she was carrying a bag containing the T-56 rifle at the time. Police stated that she removed the rifle from the bag and placed it in the rear of the vehicle with her mother-in-law, while the now empty bag was placed in front. The two women then travelled to a shoe store in Kompanya and later visited a popular shopping mall near Town Hall. Afterward, they visited the Borella Public Cemetery, where they reportedly visited the grave of the 68-year-old woman's daughter, who had died 5 years ago after falling from the same apartment complex in Vellavatta. Upon returning to the apartment complex, the 40-year-old woman was seen again carrying the T-56 rifle. As they entered the elevator from the lower floor, the security officer questioned them about the weapon. The woman claimed it was a toy. The security officer, a former military personnel, requested to inspect the weapon. Upon confirming it was a real T-56 assault rifle, he immediately alerted the police. Why a T-56? While police suspect the weapon may have been intended for criminal use, no definitive conclusion has been reached. Authorities noted that the serial numbers on various parts of the rifle do not match, raising further suspicion. Both women remain in custody as investigations continue. The recent incident involving a woman carrying a T-56 assault rifle at the entrance of a luxury apartment complex in Colombo occurred against the backdrop of a troubling surge in gun violence across Sri Lanka. From the 1st of January to the 19th of May this year, a total of 46 shooting incidents have been reported nationwide. According to police, 31 of these incidents have been linked to organized criminal gangs. Authorities have seized 41 firearms used in these crimes, including 14 T-56 assault rifles and 27 pistols. Since the current government came into power, security forces have confiscated a total of 1,278 illegal firearms. Additionally, under a government-led initiative to collect firearms from civilians, 1,697 licensed weapons have been voluntarily surrendered. However, 33 licensed firearms remain unreturned. Meanwhile, the Minister of Public Security, Ananda Vijaypala, made a significant statement in Parliament yesterday, revealing alleged links between political parties and organized crime groups.
The complexity of this issue is now evident. Intelligence reports confirm direct political interference. Once police investigations are complete, I am prepared to name those politicians in this house. Arrests have already begun. Over 216 individuals have been taken into custody. Intelligence has uncovered direct links between 10 major organized crime groups and members of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Samagi Jana Balawegaya, United National Party, as well as current and former ministers, deputy ministers, MPs, and powerful local political figures. Investigations are ongoing.
Just hours after this revelation, former Speaker Chamal Rajapaksa, a senior figure in the SLPP, made a strong statement while attending a War Heroes commemoration event alongside former Presidents Gotabaya and Mahinda Rajapaksa and retired military officials.
The current wave of violence speaks for itself. Things could get worse, even double. That's the reality we are facing. Everyone must remain vigilant.
This comes amid renewed controversy surrounding firearms previously held by Yoshita Rajapaksa, son of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa. According to official reports, 7 firearms in his possession were returned to the government, though one was later reissued to him. Earlier, on the 5th of March, parliamentarian Shanakyan Rasamanikam also made serious allegations in Parliament.
ගරු ආරක්ෂක නියෝජ්‍ය ඇමතුමනි ඔබතුමා දන්නවද දේශබන්දු දෙන්නකෝ නැත්නම් එතුමාට විරුද්ධව
Deputy Minister of Defence, are you aware that 2 days before the court issued the order to arrest Deshabandhu Tennakone, a meeting took place at the business centre of a powerful former minister from the previous government? Among those in attendance were Director of Military Intelligence, former DMI Chula Kodituakku, and former ASP of the Columbbo Crime Division Neville. Additionally, Pillan was invited to this discussion. However, as Pillan could not attend, he sent his associate Inya Bharati to Colombo. Inya Bharati stayed at the Hilton Hotel in Colombo, where a person named Sudha drove him in his vehicle. This raises serious concerns.
මේ රට තුල යම් මොකද්ද දන්නේ ඒකේ කුමන්ත්‍රණය ඔබතුමාලා මේක ගැන දන්නවද දන්නේ නැහැ විශාල බැලෑරුම් ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා.
At the Mathura Magistrate Court, Senior Additional Solicitor General Dilip Apiris made a shocking revelation, stating that Inspector General of Police Deshabandhu Tennakone is allegedly operating a paramilitary unit under his command. Translation of extract.
The shooting incident involving W15 hotel owner Mohammad Nisam Jamaldeen appears to have stemmed from personal dispute with Deshabandhu Tennakone. Evidence suggests that IGP orchestrated the attack using officers from the Colombo Crime Division. The conflict reportedly involved a land dispute and media exposure over a monthly payment of 150,000 rupees from Sri Lanka Cricket to Tennakone. If this man is the IGP, how can a paramilitary group operate under his authority?
End of excerpt. Frequent shootings in various locations. A woman casually carrying a T-56 rifle through a crowded high-rise in broad daylight. Organized crime networks and alleged political connections. What do these incidents really signify? Amid these events, we continue to see troubling links being exposed from time to time. Shouldn't these matters be urgently investigated and the truth revealed transparently to the public?
Speaking in Parliament today, Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa said that the connections between political parties and criminal gangs must be exposed.
I make a request from the Minister of Public Security to please reveal who among the leaders of the SJB are connected to the underworld. Is the leader connected? Are the people holding positions in that leadership group also connected? Are the members connected? Present those facts and information. We question why no clear action is being taken, especially at a time when underworld gangs are destroying the lives of the people in this country. I have presented information regarding underworld and political connections to Parliament both yesterday and before that. I did so responsibly. The opposition leader says that data should be presented. We are ready to reveal to Parliament the links that certain members of the SJB have with the underworld, and An investigation is currently underway. Once that investigation concludes, we will present those findings in Parliament. If you check the Hansard, you will come across certain names that are already mentioned. You cannot use Parliament to say whatever you want, whenever you want. We speak with responsibility. Names have been presented. You should take a look at the Hansard. It was submitted the week before last. Therefore, I will continue to present information in the future as well. An investigation is currently underway, and so I do not intend to reveal further details regarding it.
30 seconds, please. අහන්න කැමතියි සමගි ජන බලවේගයේ පක්ෂයේ නායක කාරකාදීන් සමාජිකින් සම්බන්ධ නම් පාතාලයක් සමග ඔබතුමා හෙළිදරව් කරන්න නම් එක්ක ඒ පාතාල දේශපාලනය කරේ අපිද?
Were we the ones who brought underworld elements into politics? No, don't speak as if you've forgotten history. Who gave Sotti Upali the power to act as a judge over the entire country? It was your political ancestors. Who did politics with Gonawala Sunil? Not just them, everyone did. Who did politics with Julampitiya Amare and Baddagane Sanjeeva? If you have no connection to these, then remain calm. We will reveal everything in the nick of time. If you get agitated, it is only because you probably have some sort of connection to this. We don't know. We are suspicious if they got caught. The people of this country know very well who were involved in underworld politics.
Newsfirst with the people.
Who will gain control of the Colombo Municipal Council? The matter was debated in Parliament today.
Who is picking up these pieces now? Who brought these pieces to the President's office? Who is visiting the homes of these people you call debris? Who went to their homes and promised them the chairmanship of this committee and that committee? Who lobbied about voting to become mayor? That was all you. Now the pieces of debris, the very ones you call debris, are the same people the President met in Palavatta recently. Now they are holding talks with parties one by one. Brokers are being used for these discussions, involving businessmen loyal to your government. The President is now taking the lead in forming these local government bodies. We have accepted this challenge. Everyone has accepted it. The government has challenged us today, and as the Samagi Jana Balawegya, we have accepted that challenge.
After the opposition's whining, they came here before the local government elections and loudly claimed they would win 100 LG bodies. Last time MP Mujibur Rahman resigned to become mayor. This time he tried to see if he could become mayor from the outside. MP, don't be upset. Remember, the NPP will claim power over the Colombo Municipal Council. We, the National People's Power, have earned the votes of the people to truly work for them. These people aren't whining for no reason. All their plans have failed. They gathered the entire opposition to show they have more supporters than before. But now many groups that were outside the ruling party and who were considering joining the opposition are instead trying to join the National People's Power. While you can't even get more people to join your party by going door to door, these independent groups are coming to our office asking to join us. Are you coming too? If you want, bring Dilit along. If you want, come and discuss. Some representatives from Dilit's party are already in talks with us. Just wait and see what happens once we establish power. A debate ensued in Parliament today over the current salt shortage in the local market.
The salt shortage has been ongoing for 6 months. It didn't just appear yesterday. The main question is, where did the salt brought by the STC go? A kilo of salt could be sold for about 100 rupees, even with all extra costs. Who's buying this salt? It's one person, Dr. Ravi Lene, a director at the Salt Corporation. He's also the chairman of Raigam. When the chairman of Raigam is placed on the board of directors of the Putlam Salt Corporation, he takes all the STC salt to Raigam. There, he packages it and sells it for 350 rupees to 400 rupees a kilo, while it used to sell for 130 rupees. That's ridiculous. I challenge the Consumer Affairs Authority to go to Hambantota. If they can go to Putlam Salt Corporation. If you can, and see if there is no salt, there is salt. They are just hiding it.
We met in December. The Salt Producers Association came and told us that they have factories. There were people working in them, and they asked us to bring non-iodized to make the salt needed for the factories. We put out a tender for 20,000 metric tons and brought 12,000. They expected to produce salt by March. When we went to get the salt within those 45 days, it rained in the interim. It rained in Hambantota in 35 days. It rained 10 days before the deadline. The Ministry of Industries again submitted a cabinet paper in March saying that another 30,000 metric tons should be brought. That salt will be available from today. What is the problem? Now they are saying to go to Puttlam. Come and show Puttlam. There is salt. What is the salt? There is mud salt. There are only 50 metric tons of salt at the Hambantota port. We gave 8,000 of the 12,000 metric tons of salt that STC brought to Hambantota. Remember, don't be so quick to lie, because these people are in these salt producers associations. It's not an April issue. 27% of the shares that were in People's Bank were sold to Raigam in 2011. Who sold it? Us? No. 70% is for cooperatives, 30% is for the private sector. This agreement expires on the 27th. Then we will see what happens. You are lying about salt because there is nothing else to say. That is why you said that the salt brought to STC was given to the private sector. You are lying. Do not lie in Parliament. This salt was sold for 100 rupees. We are still selling a 400-gram packet for 130 rupees at Satosa. In some places, people are illegally buying the salt, packaging it and selling it for 300 rupees and creating a mafia. But we have ended that mafia. We have already received 25 containers of salt. The salt imported by National Salt will start being imported from tonight. Therefore, we will end the salt problem. Meanwhile, chairman of the Raigam Group of Companies, Dr. Ravi Lene, has issued a statement addressing the allegations directed at him. The statement strongly refutes a claim made by Member of Parliament Mujibur Rahman, who had implied that Dr. Lene was involved in a salt scam, describing the allegations as entirely baseless. Dr. Lene further clarified that he does not serve as a government-appointed director of the Puttlam Salt Company and categorically denied accusations that his company had acquired government-imported salt stocks at subsidized prices. The statement goes on to explain that, as a manufacturer, his company only purchased their allocated quota of imported salt at the prices set by the government. However, Dr. Lene emphasized that during the past 6 months, the Raigam Group has not purchased any salt products whatsoever from the Puttlam Salt Company. He also pointed to excessive rainfall over the past years in salt-producing regions as the primary reason for the current salt shortage, adding that no present or previous government, institution or individual should be held accountable for this natural circumstance.
Be a part at the Beach Rugby Carnival, organised by OTRFU on the 24th of May, 3 p.m. onwards at the Port City, Colombo. More information on 0777 3865233. Media sponsor Yes 101, Legends 966 and TV1.
Sri Lanka has called on countries to uphold the WHO Code of Practice on the international recruitment of health personnel, urging more responsible and ethical recruitment practices.
The 78th World Health Assembly is being held in Geneva, Switzerland, and the theme of this year's Health Assembly is One World for Health. Sri Lanka was represented by Minister of Health Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa.
We have faced many challenges during the past half-century, and recovering from recent economic turmoil with the strength of the public, together with global goodwill and assistance. As a country, we appreciate the connectedness, opportunities, and health benefits that united global action enables. Our government policy, a thriving nation, a beautiful life, is also aligned with One World for Health and the need for concerted action to be back on track on the SDGs. Sri Lanka had outpatient department visits of 3 times of its population in average. Therefore, to leave no one behind, we have embarked on comprehensive primary care reforms. The main objective of this reform is to prevent bypassing of primary health institutions, which is a challenge in health service delivery in Sri Lanka. I stress the need to address the concerns due to health workforce migration affecting global health. During the year 2022 to 2025, 726 consultants, 1,116 medical officers, and nearly 2,800 nursing officers have gone abroad. Sri Lanka has had to bear significant financial losses after investing to produce our own health professionals. We believe destination countries too need to be more responsible, and we call for effective and inaugurated implementation of the WHO Code for international recruitment of health personnel. Achieving sustainable financing for health requires increased investment in health, especially to build resilience against challenges we are presently facing, debt, disease and devaluation. Whilst we collaborate across sectors and disciplines, our government is committed to protect the nation's health.
The Ceylon Chamber of Commerce held the National Small and Medium Enterprise Forum 2025.
The Ceylon Chamber of Commerce hosted the National SME Forum 2025 today under the theme Scale Up, bringing together over 200 SMEs from across Sri Lanka along with government officials and trade bodies. The forum addressed key challenges faced by SMEs, including access to finance, digital transformation, policy reforms and export market integration.
Today, this summit is more than just an event. It is part of a continued effort to strengthen the SME sector, which is the backbone of Sri Lanka's economy. The dedication and sacrifices made by small and medium enterprises in promoting entrepreneurship and driving economic growth are truly remarkable. When it comes to job creation, innovation and community development, SMEs take the lead. They play a key role in contributing to the country's GDP and achieving full employment. Support for building export capacity and achieving export excellence has also been strengthened through collaboration with the IMF, the European Union and the Export Development Board.
A business matchmaking clinic also ran alongside the forum, linking SMEs with buyers, banks and trade institutions across sectors including tea, ICT, food and wellness.
The Sri Lanka United National Businesses Alliance has issued a stark warning about the deteriorating state of the country's economy, citing a mass exodus of skilled professionals, collapsing industries and a lack of new investment.
Today, the Sri Lankan industry is not being protected. The Sri Lankan businesses are not being protected. We have been overloaded with taxes, electricity. Unbearable conditions are being put upon us to uplift businesses.
Dr. Marjun, chairman of the Hong Kong Green Finance Association, has called on central banks around the world to play a more proactive role in supporting the transition to low-carbon economies. He delivered a special lecture on the effective implementation of green finance standards and policies in Columbbo.
Dr. Marjun is the president of the Institute of Finance and Sustainability and has been at the forefront of several international green finance initiatives, including the G20 Sustainable Finance Working Group and the International Platform on Sustainable Finance Taxonomy.
If the government wants to move the economy away from polluting and carbon-intensive sectors towards greener, low-carbon activities, then the central bank have to do something as well. So central bank is not outside of the government. The central bank is part of the government, helping the government to achieve its structural adjustment goal. In that sense, our central bank very often came up with a re-lending facility, which is targeting certain type of activities. For example, we have re-lending facility, which is called decarbonization for green, and we have re-lending facility for technology. We have facility for SMEs. So these are all government structural objectives. And now other central banks may not have that privilege. And that's a problem in the G20 discussion. A lot of European and, for example, American central banks say, hey, we cannot do that, right? And, but still, I think there's some leeways which we can sort of explore within the existing mandate. For example, all central bank has the authority and has a mandate to maintain financial stability, right? And from financial stability angle, you can say, if I allow the financial system to invest too much in polluting and carbon-intensive sectors, it may destabilize the economy, and therefore destabilize the financial sector. For example, if the economy has too much of carbon-intensive assets in the banking system, right? Then these carbon-intensive assets will end up with bad loans. After 5 years, 10 years, and so on, the carbon-intensive steel, cement, petrochemical, shipping, aviation, agriculture, energy sector, they cannot sell because the world only needs low-carbon products.
Sri Lanka has stressed on the critical importance of lasting peace in the Indian Ocean region as a foundation for sustainable development, regional security and economic resilience. Foreign Minister Vijitha Herath was speaking at the IORA Council of Ministers.
As the current chair of the Indian Ocean Rim Association, or the IORA, Sri Lanka successfully convened the 24th meeting of the IORA Council of Ministers and the 27th meeting of the Committee of Senior Officials from the 19th to the 21st of May 2025. The high-level sessions were held virtually under the theme Sustainable Indian Ocean for Future Generations.
We are all aware of the mounting pressure the ocean faces. Rising sea levels, extreme weather events, illegal fishing, marine plastic pollution, and degradation of coastal ecosystems. These are not future threats, they are current realities, and they demand a united and urgent response. Overexploitation of marine resources due to unsustainable fishing practices and also illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing have depleted fish stocks, threatening our livelihood and food security. Let us work together through consensus and collaboration towards this goal. Our country remains fully committed to the goals of IORA and will continue to support cooperation in all priority areas. We believe that the Indian Ocean should be a zone of peace, prosperity, and partnership. We encourage all member states to deepen collaboration, share best practices, and invest in research and capacity building to achieve further progress in all priority areas.
Sri Lanka has officially launched a system enabling toll payments via bank cards on major expressways starting today.
The Ministry of Transport, Highways, Ports and Civil Aviation says that toll payments via bank cards have been enabled starting today. According to the ministry, the new payment method is now available on the Southern Expressway, the Colombo-Katanaik Expressway and the Central Expressway between Kurunagala and Merigama. The system has been implemented at 35 interchanges and 119 exit gates, allowing motorists to make seamless payments using their bank cards. Ministry officials confirmed that staff have been trained to support the new system and ensure a smooth transition. This initiative aligns with the government's broader digitalization policy and is expected to significantly reduce traffic congestion at toll booths and minimize payment processing time.
In a quiet village where dreams often wait in silence, something unforgettable happened today. Gantha reached yet another corner of Sri Lanka, bringing not just infrastructure but hope.
In a village where clean water was once a distant dream, today marked a turning point. Dematava Mahavidyalaya, a school nestled in the Panduvasnuwara division of the Kuliapitiya education zone, has stood since 1945, a beacon of learning for generations. With over 300 students and many parents struggling to make ends meet, the school has long faced a silent crisis: the lack of access to clean drinking water. But everything changed when Gantha, during one of its door-to-door community visits, identified the issue and committed to a solution. Today, that promise took its first step toward reality with the laying of the foundation stone for a new water supply system. The project, fully funded by Next Sourcing Private Limited, will draw water from a tube well on land generously donated by J.M. Jaitunga Banda. Gantha is ready to complete the project swiftly because every child deserves more than just education. They deserve dignity, health and hope.
The launch of Chapna boy Colombo Diva, the latest work by Danu Nasithambi, was held in Colombo amidst a gathering of stars, notable personalities and well-wishers who came together to celebrate this significant milestone in Danu's journey.
described as holding the scent of home-cooked meals, the sound of prayers whispered at bedtime, the ache of missing people who left too soon, and the magic of finding pieces of yourself in the unlikeliest places. The book, Chapna Boy, Columbbo, Diva, is a reflection on Dhanu's journey from his childhood in war-torn Chapna to becoming one of Colombo's most celebrated modern voices. The book, structured into 45+1 chapters, covers life during the Civil War, the post-war era, and Dhanu's personal transformation from a Chapna boy into the Colombo diva he is today.
Chapna Boy, Colombo Diva has been a book in its making for the past 8 to 10 years. I wrote chapters whenever I felt like it and then forgot about it. Never my cup of tea to write. So it was mostly audio that was forming its words and eventually coming to life as a book. So super happy this book is a little bit about life, a little bit about what war can do to a country, post-reconciliation, and everything in between. So it's a book that has come from the heart, and it's also launching on my mum's birthday, which is also a tribute to her.
Among the well-wishers, Ashok Ferry, Prashant Devisar, Shehar Ali, and several others took to the stage to read out loud excerpts from the book Chapna Boy, Colombo Diva.
The Inasithambis arrived in Sri Lanka in 1752, a family of healers, scholars and leaders who dedicated their lives to medicine, not just as a profession, but as a service.
In Jaffna, we had camps overflowing with people who had lost everything. There were families sharing a single toilet, people with missing limbs because they had unknowingly stepped on landmines, and yet life went on elsewhere, as if our suffering didn't exist.
1 minute, I was an outsider watching films in awe, dreaming of being a part of the magic. The next, I was smack in the middle of an industry that was messy, nepotistic, and at times deeply questionable.
Following the launch, Dhanu personally signed copies of his book for attendees. In a heartfelt gesture, the first copy of his book was dedicated to his late mother, while the second copy was presented to his sister, acknowledging their unwavering support and presence throughout his journey.
The All Ceylon Union of Muslim League Youth Fronts held its Founders Day in Colombo.
The All Ceylon Union of Muslim League Youth Fronts, or ACU MLYF, held its Founders Day. The event was graced by Honorable Karujai Surya, former Speaker of Parliament, as the chief guest.
You do not have to be a Palestinian to feel pain. You do not have to be a Muslim to condemn injustice. You only have to be human. Every morning at 5:30, I start the day watching Al Jazeera. I start the day feeling sorry and crying from my heart about the deaths that are taking place. They are human beings. What is most dangerous is not only the destruction, but the silence of those who should speak. The erosion of empathy, the normalization of humanity. I fear the world is not only losing life, it is also losing moral compass. As a small nation, Sri Lankans have always believed in standing on the side of the justice. Even when we do so alone, our voice may be small, but it must be principled. And to you, the young leaders in this room, I say, do not let your voice be silenced by distance or by fear.
The event was held under the theme Unveiling Justice, how the Palestinian context highlights global challenges for institutions and smaller nations. A key highlight was the launch of the Mati Sabay Upahara, a book of parliamentary tributes to M.A. Bakir Makar, founder of the ACU MLYF, honouring his service to the nation and the Muslim community.
Alpha Blondy live in Sri Lanka, the most anticipated music event of the year, is all set to take place in the heart of Colombo. A press conference was held in Colombo yesterday, marking the official launch of the event.
Hey, do not miss it, man. Come over so we can rock together. I love you.
Alpha Blondy live in Sri Lanka. organised by Big Blast Events in partnership with Yes FM and Ear Gear Production, will take place on the 19th of July 2025 at the Air Force Grounds in Colombo. The press conference was attended by Buddhi Vikramanayaka, COO of MBC Networks, representing Yes 101 as the official media partner, along with several prominent Sri Lankan musicians and artists.
Well, it's an exciting day for reggae fans out there in Sri Lanka. Me myself, a huge reggae fan, and I'm proud to announce something big happening in July 2025. We all know the legends Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Burning Spear, Lucky Dube, and there are so many other reggae artists, legendary reggae artists. And now we have the chance to witness the legendary Alpha Blondy. Alpha Blondy live in Sri Lanka with ESFM, production by Ear Gear, Big Blast event on the 19th of July at the Air Force Grounds. Come join us, let's have a big blast on that day. Also stay tuned to Yes 101 for more information and to win passes. Ja Rastafari.
We are actually really excited to host this event over here with reggae icon Alpha Blondy with his own band Solar System in Colombo. There's a huge reggae community in Sri Lanka, so we wanted to start off with an artist like Alpha Blondy. This is going to be first of many shows, so stay with us.
Rohit Jailat from Jayashri and Umara Singhavansa also shared their views.
First, when I heard Alpha is coming to Sri Lanka, wow, I was like, it can't be. So then I checked with some friends, they said yes, and Vinod and Bio team, so all are behind, so I said, wow, that's great. So I think reggae music is the best, it fits to our island too, Jamaica is also an island, so that's why as a tourist, attraction. Also, this will be very good to Sri Lanka, and even maybe we can attract some crowds from India or Maldives or right around, And I would like to say I'm really blessed in a way that we have opened for Alpha 2 times in Europe. So in Reggae Mountain Festival in Innsbruck in Austria and Africa Tage. Enough respect, love, peace.
This is something personally I've been looking forward to. Hosting such grand events in Sri Lanka has been a dream. Just to be part of this panel as well is just such an honor for me, because I know this is just the beginning. These guys are planning bigger things for Sri Lanka.
Alpha Blondy, the iconic Jamaican reggae artist, will be performing live in Colombo with his band, the Solar System, promising fans an unforgettable night of music, culture and unity. Yes 101 will serve as the official media partner for the event.
The IMF called on the US to reduce its fiscal deficit and tackle its ever-increasing debt burden at a time of rising concern about President Donald Trump's plans for sweeping tax cuts. Geetha Gopinath, the IMF's first deputy managing director, said that US fiscal deficits are too large and they need to be brought down.
Geetha Gopinath, the IMF's first deputy managing director, warned that the world's biggest economy was still affected by very elevated trade policy uncertainty despite positive developments such as the Trump administration dialing back tariffs on China. Gopinath's comments come after Moody's stripped the US of its last remaining pristine AAA credit rating due to the concerns over the country's growing debt. Although the IMF said last month it expected the US fiscal deficit to fall this year as long as tariff revenues grew, those projections did not account for Trump's tax bill, which is winding its way through Congress. The IMF in April cut its US growth forecast by nearly a percentage point to 1.8% in 2025, while dropping its global growth projection inflation to 2.8% as it incorporated the impact of Trump's tariffs. Since then, Trump has announced sharp cuts to American levies as China and the US agree to slash respective tariffs by 115 percentage points for 90 days.
As we wrap up tonight, we take you to another enchanting spot in the town of Bandarwala in today's episode of Beautiful Sri Lanka.
Good night.
Good night.
Beautiful Sri Lanka.
Boravagala roundabout is a scenic highlight in Bandarwala. It offers a unique view where 3 railway stations appear across the landscape. Nestled in the peaceful village of Kinigama in Badulla district's Uva province, this spot lies just 3 kilometers from the heart of Bandarwala. From here, you can take in sweeping views of Diathalava, Fox Hill, Heeloya, Mukulalla, Kitalalla, Alla, Vallavaya and the charming Bandarwala town itself. From this spot, you can see 3 stations along the scenic upcountry railway line. They are none other than Heeloya, Kinigama and Bandarwala. This is how trains glide through each of these charming locations. A visit to Bandarwala isn't complete without a stop at Boravagala.
Beautiful Sri Lanka.